In federal prison, if you qualify for the RDAP program, you can get a year off your prison sentence. And that's really the only way you can get substantial time off your sentence. So I qualified for the RDAP program. They moved me into a new unit. And I started this program where you're working on criminal behavior, you're calling each other out, setting boundaries, basically you're snitching. And there's a lot of women that wouldn't do that program. They would do the extra year in prison before they do the program. I remember when I moved in, I decided the best way for me to do this program is just to be so honest and to follow all the rules, right? Because I don't want to get up in the front of the room and have everybody giving me feedback and calling me out for being dishonest. I didn't want to do that. But not long after I got into the program, a girl who was pretty entrenched in the criminal lifestyle came up to me and said, "Hey, Louder, I have vegetables." Well, vegetables in prison are like, for me, they were the thing I wanted the very most. When my husband picked me up from prison, he's like, "What do you want me to bring?" I said, "Just vegetables." That's all I want. So she says, "Let's go down to the rec yard and eat these vegetables." So I go down to the rec yard with her. We're setting out there eating these carrots and broccoli, and I'm just feeling so guilty, like I'm smoking a cigarette or doing drugs or something, just being dishonest. We go back to the program, and that whole night I can't sleep. I'm just physically sick about what I've done. The next morning we go into our morning meeting. There's 70 women in there. There's a couple of counselors, and I stand up in the front of the room and I say, "I ate stolen vegetables from the kitchen." And you hear the audible gasp, "Not Louder." And the counselors both come up to the front of the room and they're like, "Who helped Miss Louder eat those vegetables? Who stole them from the kitchen?" And I'm just sitting there like, "No, I won't say anything." And she goes, "We are not leaving this room until somebody comes up to the front of the room." Finally, this other girl comes up to the front of the room. She's like, "I stole the vegetables from the kitchen." She looks over at me like, "You're going down, Louder." I remember walking out of that meeting and thinking, I know where I stand. You know, my integrity was more important to me than anything else at that point, and I knew where I stood. And I learned that you can stand alone and you can still do your prison time and you can hold your head high.